The Minnesota Vikings are 4-0 at the time of me recording this video. Yes, you heard me right. The Sam Darnold-led Vikings are undefeated through 4 weeks. Now, knowing my luck, they'll probably lose to the Jets this Sunday, but hey, maybe they win. Aaron Rodgers has a bad game, the defense looks great, the offense is scoring points, and I look like a genius. But I want to emphasize that this team isn't solely on the back of Darnold. These two men right here just might be the best at their job currently in the NFL. What Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores have done in these first 4 weeks of the season is ridiculous. But I do want to start this video off talking about the emergence of Sam Darnold this season. And I think over anything else, what this season in totality has showed us is these quarterbacks aren't always the problem. Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold were all looked at as busts or not starter quality quarterbacks before entering their current situations. And I can confidently say that these three quarterbacks are all playing like top 10 quarterbacks in the league right now. And specifically Darnold, because he's not only playing top tier quarterback play, he is playing like an MVP. Prior to this season, Darnold had played on 3 teams and put up some pretty embarrassing numbers to say the least. 21-35 as a starter, 63 passing touchdowns to 56 interceptions, a passer rating of 78.3, and a QBR of 45.9. In case you're wondering how bad these numbers are, Kenny Pickett, a quarterback I think we can all agree is not the greatest at his job, had a better completion percentage, passer rating, and QBR than Sam Darnold before this season. But in 2024, this is basically a brand new player. Go through and look at every MVP ranking currently. You're going to see Darnold at number 1 or number 2, rightfully so. Through the first 4 games of the season, Darnold leads the NFL in passing touchdowns at 11 and passer rating at 118.9. Now, one thing on this channel I don't like to do is project stats at face value because progression is not always linear. Darnold is technically on pace for nearly 50 touchdowns, but I think we can all agree that's pretty unrealistic. So here are Darnold's averages through these first 4 games: 233 passing yards, 2.75 passing touchdowns, and 0.75 interceptions. Now, instead of saying Darnold is going to continue this hot streak, let's say we bump these numbers down just a bit to try to get a more realistic end of season stat line. His yards per game drop from 233 to 215. Touchdowns per game go from nearly 3 to just 2, and his interceptions stay the same. Darnold's stat line from the 2024 season would look something like this: 37 touchdowns, 3,700 passing yards, and 13 interceptions. That is an elite quarterback stat line. If I just showed you those numbers without telling you the quarterback, I guarantee you would guess Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Burrow. And that's because these are basically their numbers. Here is Darnold's projections compared to some of those 3 quarterbacks' best seasons. Now, Darnold doesn't necessarily have the passing yards as them, but for a former number 3 overall pick that has never thrown for 20 touchdowns in a season to be in conversations like this is insane. With large credit to this man right here. For the past 20 plus years, Bill Belichick was widely regarded as the best coach in the NFL. But in this new era of football, Kevin O'Connell has a real argument to be the best in the world right now. I'm not sure if there is a better offensive mind in football. The Vikings are averaging 29 points a game while playing 3 teams that won a playoff game last season. His creativity and efficiency is off the charts. I just went through all the numbers Darnold is putting up this year, but those were just, your basic statistics: passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and whatnot. But when you go more in depth, it's insane what O'Connell is doing with this offense. Here's a chart from rbsdm.com showing quarterback efficiency through the first 4 weeks. Vertical is EPA per play and horizontal is completion percentage above expected. For basically every year of Darnold's career, he would have been down here in this area. But under O'Connell, he's been on a whole nother level. You may thought he was just piled up in this group, but no. Sam Darnold is all the way up here, literally in a league of his own. And this entire offense is truly on another level. So here are some rapid pace offensive statistics from the Vikings so far in 2024. This season, the Vikings are outscoring opponents a whopping 69-17 in the first half, the highest mark through 4 weeks in nearly a decade. The top 3 highest quarterback wide receiver duos in target EPA are Stroud and Collins at 1, Allen and Shakir at 2, and Darnold and Jefferson at 3, with a total target EPA of 24.63. And probably my favorite graphic to show just how much of another level this Vikings offense is on. Here is passing and rushing efficiency for every team so far in the NFL. Rush EPA per play and drop back EPA per play. The Ravens are by far the best rushing team with Lamar and Henry in the backfield, while teams like the Bills, Commanders, and Texans have been the best through the air. That is, if Kevin O'Connell didn't exist. This Vikings team truly is ridiculous. And I haven't even talked about the defense yet, which legitimately has an argument to be the best in the league, especially when you consider this defense doesn't just have superstars all over the field, and they're making some of the best quarterbacks in the league look mediocre. Off the back of this madman, the defensive looks that Flores creates should be studied in a lab. There is 11 players at the line of scrimmage on this play. 11! And this turned into cover 2. Because of course it did. And with all the creative defensive looks this man gives opposing quarterbacks is a large part into why the Vikings are undefeated. You know the saying, seeing ghosts? That's what Brian Flores does to quarterbacks every Sunday. Here's what the Vikings defense has done to every quarterback they've played this year. No quarterback has hit an offensive grade of 70. They forced a combined 8 interceptions and have 17 sacks on the year, the most in the NFL for both of those categories. A team that was projected 8 wins on the year has yet to lose a game through 4 weeks. The most important aspect of sports is coaching, and the Vikings may have the 2 best in the world on their staff. Hope everyone who watched this video learned something and also enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.